Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. On today's show, we have a number of interviews for you. We're going to be speaking with Beth Reynolds, the Economic Development Director here in Ashland, and the work that she's doing in support of our businesses during this pandemic. We are also going to be speaking with Principal Kelly St. Cyr from the Ashland High School and Brandon Grover, the president of the senior class, and how they're dealing with the changes to senior week and graduation for this graduating class. And our last interview is going to be with Vizzy Talak. She is a local writer and artist, and she is presenting the 01721 Circle of Love project. So stay with us as I bring you Around the Clock. Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. I'm your host, Yolanda Greaves. Today we are speaking with Beth Reynolds, the Economic Development Director of Ashland. Beth, welcome back to Around the Clock.
Thanks so much. I'm happy to be here.
And how has COVID-19 changed, if it has, what you're doing to help and support our businesses here in Ashland?
Yeah, so we, just like the businesses, have had to pivot as well. We were kind of knee deep in the business incentive program that we put out. And then, we've really been utilizing that fund, which has been great. But since, March 13th, everything just sort of stopped. And then we've just really been trying to kind of reinvent what's needed. And we've had to be flexible and creative yet again on how to help and support the business community in town. So we've been working mostly on communications right at the beginning. We started to put out additional newsletters. We started to do Facebook Live with the town manager to keep him engaged with the community as well, to let them know all the hard work that we're doing and that we're here together with them. And then we've been working on the web pages. So the website is filled with tons of information, ashlandmass.com. And I worked really hard with my team on creating a business recovery page where there's, information on all the different phases, examples of other people, other states that have reopened. We also have a restaurant recovery page that's focused strictly for restaurants. And then lastly, last week, we just put together a business toolkit where it's kind of a one-stop shop for businesses to help get them the signage they might need for reopening, some local PPE supplies they might need that they can, get their hands on quickly. We also created a directory because all these businesses have pivoted. They've all kind of changed what they're doing as well. Restaurants that didn't do takeout and delivery now are doing takeout and delivery. So different things like that. So we've tried to get that out to the community mostly. But, I continue to work very hard to advocate for our businesses. There's, as we go into all these different phases, there's just so much that's unknown. And I'm just trying to stay on top of the news, the changes, as best I can, and advocate for our business community the best I can in regards to permitting and regulations between the state and the local government.
Well, I know as we've changed, not our focus, but how often we've been putting the show out and getting interviews out. I've spoken with a lot of businesses here in Ashland, and many of them have said some of their success and what they're able to do is because of the work that everyone's like, oh, Beth Reynolds, and your economic development director, has been so helpful and so positive. What helps you stay positive and focused on what you're doing with all this?
Some days are easier than others.
Are harder than others?
I have to remind myself that we all need a little break. So I take a little break every once in a while. Those first couple weeks, it was just straight out. I didn't do anything except, really put all this communication stuff together. But now we can take a breath. Honestly, working with these business owners and the resiliency that they have and the conversations that I have where afterwards, I sort of feel like there's hope, and I feel like they all feel like there's hope, and we're all going to get through this the best we can and come out the other side. We may look a little different, but I think we might be stronger in the end, and I just sort of keep reminding myself of that. You got to stay positive. If we don't have that, then I don't know what we've got.
Right. Now, you said you're getting a lot of communication out, and recently you've gotten some help in doing that communication, correct?
Yes. So I'm so excited that we now have a communications and cultural coordinator, Ashley Place. She's no stranger to Ashland. She's been in the town library for 5 years. So now she's working on my team, which is fantastic. She's really going to be boosting up all of our Facebook, social media presence, as well as the website. We will be rolling out a new website this year, which is fantastic as well. And then she's
Definitely
also
needed.
yeah, she's working with all the other different organizations in town, departments to help support, getting out this, similar branding for Ashland and communications, and just be a support system that we can utilize to really kind of push us further down. The events, the communication's working, and now we just get to take it to the next level with her here on board. It's great.
So summer in Ashland's going to look very different. We're usually getting ready for the corner spot to open and all the great events there, and summer concerts and movies. And what plans are you tentatively having, or how are you working with making plans for what we can do to keep bringing our community together in Ashland?
So the best thing about Ashland, I think, is that we have such great people here that want to do really good things. And I am so grateful for those people. So there is a team that is working together. The Dragonfly Festival Committee is working with the Culture Fest. So the Corner Spot Committee, that we're kind of pulling together a virtual cultural event. So we still want to keep that going. I've been working with Vizzy Tillock and Amy Caruso on the Circle of Love project with Ashley as well. And that's really rolling out, and that's kind of bringing people together and spreading a little positivity. So all of these, it's every week is different. I think every day is different, but more and more people are coming out to say, what can we do? How can we help? What
Right.
good things can we do? So I think we'll see more things coming. They might look a little different. They're going to look a little different than they have in the past. Sadly, I don't plan to open the corner spot. I just don't see that in the future this year, this season.
Right.
But we'll be back. I do feel like this we'll get through this. It'll still be there.
I agree. I think certainly Ashland, in a community, we have such great volunteers and people who really want to support things and support each other. And that's the key. So, and it's great to have someone like you in your position to help lead some of this. So that's been positive.
I get to do the fun stuff. Not so fun stuff too, but a lot of the fun stuff.
Well, you got to do both to make sure things are moving forward.
Yeah.
Short term, what are you seeing in regards to what we're going to be allowed to do for any of this from your perspective?
For the summer months?
For summer months, we're about to hit June 1st.
Yeah.
We just had Memorial Day weekend. Of course, we didn't have our regular Memorial Day celebration. Are we looking summer, August, September? I know some of it's state guidelines.
Yeah.
Thoughts
We
and
do
plans
follow,
from you?
right. We mostly follow, the state guidelines for sure. Right now, we're really working hard. Our team is working together to put together some regulations for outdoor seating so that restaurants can expand, or they can open, but they can expand to the outdoors to enable them to have more customers. So our team now is kind of looking at what those regulations would look like to make it safe for people. Being creative, which is great. The team is really open to, kind of looking at things a little outside the box, because that's what we have to accommodate the businesses in town now with these new phases. But we're really hoping to kind of see a little bit more activity in the restaurant area once they start to open. I've already seen a little bit more traffic downtown, which is great. Ideally, we'd like to use outdoor space for seating so you can grab takeout and socially distance yourself at some of our open space locations. So, I do think we're going to have a summer. It's just going to look a little different than you used to.
Right. Good. Well, Beth, thank you so much for coming and giving us the update. As I said, as I spoke to many businesses, they said Beth Reynolds is who helped us. I said, well, then it's time to get Beth Reynolds back on the show.
That's really sweet. I love my job. I'm blessed to have this job, and I work with some really great people. So I'm glad. I appreciate them just as much as they appreciate me.
So you keep mentioning your team. Who else is on your team? Who else would you like to give a shout out to help you and support you in what you do?
Yeah, so
Or are there too many?
there's it's really it's a group effort. I mean, we really are a pretty tight team in town hall. We're lucky to work together, and the community development team is fantastic. I get a lot of support from Jen and Michael, our assistant town manager and town manager. So I really think his office as well. We really all work together in so many different ways, and I think especially now we've sort of had to be adaptive to that and help where the help is needed. So it's a great team. We're really lucky. I'm lucky to work here.
Great. Well, Beth, thank you so much for coming on Around the Clock. Keep doing what you're doing. We in Ashland really appreciate you, and we look forward to some fun summer stuff as best as we can.
Thanks.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. I'm your host, Yolanda Greaves. Today we are speaking with Kelly St. Cyr, the principal at the Ashland High School, and Brandon Grover, who is the president of the senior class, as well as one of the captains of our winning football team. Kelly, Brandon, welcome to Around the Clock.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So we're here to talk to both of you today about all the changes that have been going on for the senior class as we head into graduation week, or what should have been senior week and graduation celebrations. Kelly, I'm going to start with you. What are some of the changes that you've had to make, and how difficult has that been?
Well, it had been important to us all along to give students an opportunity to graduate in some sense, with their friends, and to cross the stage that students have crossed for many years in the Ashland High School gym. We had a plan together where students were going to come in groups of 10 with their families. We were saying immediate households to the gym, have their name read, hear their scholarships and awards, and walk the stage to receive their diploma. About last Thursday, the Commissioner of Education released guidelines that unfortunately forced us to have to change those plans. The guidelines stated that schools were not permitted to do anything in person, or very limited in person, until before July 19th. By in person, they meant they were okay with drive-by graduation still happening. I know there's some towns doing that, or the drive-in, or one person at a time. So we have pivoted to say that, and the guidelines also stated that after July 19th, if the state was in the position to allow this, we could have an in-person graduation outside only. So they're very clear that even through the rest of the summer, it must be outside. But the guidelines were pretty clear on, we have to wait and see what it's like after July 19th, what the state is allowing. The guidelines did include off the bat that everyone will be wearing a mask, that we will still be having a 6-foot distance. If the state is allowing a group big enough to have guests attend, they will have to pre-register, and we will be checking people in to the location of where we have it. So there's a lot of unknowns still. I did share those guidelines out with the senior class and parents when I sent the email out, and they are, I believe, available on the Department of Ed website.
Wow, so big changes.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon, senior class president, I'm sure as you went into senior year, you had thoughts and visions of what senior week was going to be like. How are you and your friends dealing with all these changes and the ongoing changes that have had to happen?
It's been very frustrating for not only me, but for the whole class. We were expecting a great end to the senior year, and we were cut short of that. And we missed out on a lot of possibilities of making great memories with each other, which is hard, but I think everyone's coming around and realizing that things could be worse, and everyone's just taking more of a positive look at it now, but before it was very frustrating.
Yeah, so you would have been heading into senior week. As class president, how do you feel you've been able to influence or help your peers get through this?
I think I've done a pretty good job, along with the other officers, communicating to the class about there's certain things we can and cannot do, and that's just the reality of it. I mean, obviously we all wish it would be different, but it is what it is. So I'm just doing the best I can, and the officers are doing the best they can to communicate everything we know to them.
And how has it been working?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Kelly.
I was going to say, Brandon has always been one of the most positive, respectful leaders that I've ever worked with. And I think his leadership through this has really helped to set the tone with the rest of the students.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So my question next to you, Brandon, was how has it been working with Mrs. St. Cyr and the rest of the faculty and staff at the high school through this process?
It's been great. I mean, the communication is great, and they work really hard. I mean, I can't imagine being in their position and having to deal with all of this and dealing with everyone who's unhappy at some points. I mean, it's definitely a difficult job, and I think they're handling it very well.
And then on the other side, you have your parents and your friends' parents, and I know that they came together to do the signs in downtown, so that's been very nice to see. How are your parents dealing with all of this, Brandon?
My parents just want to be involved in any way they can be in my life, and so they want to just do the best they can for me, and obviously they want to see me graduate, but they don't want to overcomplicate things. So they're just going to kind of let everything pan out the way it's going to happen.
So Brandon, when I get seniors on, and I've had a few this past season, so what are you looking forward to after high school?
I'm just excited to start my next step, and that's go to college, meet new people, and find something I'm going to be interested in doing in the future and playing baseball.
And where are you headed to in the fall?
I'm going to Salve Regina University.
And did I hear you say you're playing baseball there as well?
I am.
Nice, nice. Now, Brandon, I have to ask, have you been in Ashland your whole life? Did you go through the system K through 12?
Yes, I have.
Wow, so you have friends, lifelong friends.
Yes.
Yep.
And
yeah. And how are you and your friends talking about and working through what the difficulties that you're facing right now?
I have a group of friends, and we are really close. We talk all the time, every day. We're always on Xbox or FaceTiming or doing something to stay connected. So when it's all safe to go out and stuff, we're going to find something we all can do and have fun and enjoy it.
And then how are you preparing to then go on and make new friends and possibly, have a change?
I'm always going to have my close friends here, and I'll stay connected to them, but I've been reaching out through Facebook groups to meet new people at my future college. So it's been good. I've met my teammates for next year and a couple other people. So I've made some connections already.
Good. Before I let you go, Brandon, sorry, any thoughts or last words that you'd like to share from through Around the Clock to your fellow classmates and the families of your classmates?
All I would like to say is to just take a breath. We are in some hard times. No one is not affected by this because everyone's affected in some way, and to just relax. Everyone's doing their best to try and help us out. So let everyone do their job, and hopefully everything will turn out for the better.
Well, that's some really good advice, Brandon. Thank you. And Kelly, last thoughts. I know we'll have you back on as we get ready to do graduation in August. Any last thoughts as you head into senior week, or what would be senior week with this wonderful class?
No, I'm just so proud of this class. This has been an amazing class for 4 years. They're just a really tight great group of kids. You know, you have those classes. So I'm so sad for them that they're not going to enjoy the celebrations that we would typically have next week. We do have 15% of the class that is not able to do the graduation on August 2nd. So we will be celebrating them with individual ceremonies next week. So I hope, that for me will be a little light to celebrate those kids and send them on their way. And then I look forward to, hearing what we can plan and what we can do to continue to celebrate these guys all the way through the summer.
Okay, so we look forward to hopefully having some kind of outdoor celebration on August 2nd with both of you and the rest of your class that can be there.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on Around the Clock. Thanks for this segment. Please be paying more attention. We'll keep sharing the story of how our senior classes and faculty at the high school are dealing with COVID-19 here in Ashland. And thanks for watching. We'll be back with more Around the Clock. Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. I'm your host, Yolanda Greaves. Today we are speaking with Vizzy Talak, who is a local writer and artist, and we're going to be talking about the 01721 Circle of Love project. Vizzy, welcome to Around the Clock.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Vizzy, you are an Ashland resident. How long have you been here in Ashland?
Oh boy, I'm going to date myself. I've been here about, I want to say 20 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you are a writer and an artist. What kind of writing and what kind of art do you do?
So I write for multiple publications. I'm a freelance writer. I write for the Boston Globe. I'm published in the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, the U.S. News and World Report. In fact, I did a piece on the Ashland High School Innovation Center for the U.S. News and World Report. So I've done some freelance work. I also do art, and I do mosaic art, and I'm a potter.
Very cool. So the Circle of Love project is certainly then right in what we would say your wheelhouse as an artist. Tell us, what is the Circle of Love project?
So when this whole pandemic started, one of the things that Amy, who's my partner in this whole project, Amy Caruso, who's also an Ashland resident, she and I had been working on some community art projects, and we, put forth a proposal, and we were going to do, bring a whole bunch of people in and do a lot of artwork at the farmers market space, and everything just stopped. And we were like, we have to, do some community art, because that's something that we've been planning for a year now. And so we talked about it, and I had just visited in February the Yayoi Kusama exhibit at the Institute of Contemporary Art, which is an art work about dots, and she speaks about how circles bring the whole world together. The universe is built of circles, and so that was kind of going on in my mind. And then Natick did this wonderful project that they're still ongoing. It's called the 01760 Love Project, which is heart projects, and they collect that, and they're doing some community art. And Amy works at the Hopkinton Public Schools, and one of the teachers there is working on a similar project called the Hexagon Project. So we kind of brought all this together, and we said, you know what, circles, let's think about maybe the Circle of Love. Let's create a Circle of Love in Ashland. Let's envelop us with artwork from our friends and relatives who live anywhere in the world. They can send us circle artwork, and we can put that all together and create murals. So we went over to Beth at the town and talked to her about it, and she was completely excited. And she and Ashley, her coordinator, were completely excited. And we said, you know what, let's go for it. Let's, and this is not something that we have to be together to do together. We can be in our own individual spaces, yet we can do what we need to do. And we can, once things open up, go out there to town hall and the high school and different community buildings and create some lovely artwork.
So what is the call for action to the community with these circles?
So what we have done is we have created 8-inch templates. So what the templates are is, I can show you a sample of it. I have one here. And we have that in multiple places. We have that on Facebook. We have it at the corner spot where people can go pick pick up a template, a printed template. The request is that they print it on thicker cardstock paper and not regular printer paper because it may not hold up well in a large art piece. So we request people to decorate it. I mean, just sit down, be mindful, have some fun, just let your creative juices flow. It can be anything, lines, dots, it can be like really intricate drawings, it can be Zentangles, anything, any medium. Just create art and drop them off, cut the circles out for us and drop them off at the corner spot or mail them into town hall. There's a mailing address that we've given people at multiple places as well. Once they send
and I think they can also use the Dropbox at town hall as well, right?
We haven't opened up the town hall Dropbox yet because of the elections, but we do have a Dropbox at the corner spot.
Okay.
So we will be opening up multiple Dropboxes in multiple locations later on in June, towards the end of June, once things start opening up a little bit. So that's the whole idea, is to have people decorate circles, drop them off, and then we will, post them on social media, and eventually, hopefully by the middle of summer, hoping to create some huge art projects and invite everybody to come and see them.
Okay, I don't know if it's me or you, Vizzy, but you froze for me.
You froze for me for a couple of minutes too. I think there's a slight delay.
Okay.
So
Paul, are we still good?
You seem okay now. It did freeze. And then there was a few delays, so we might have to back up just like a little bit.
I'll go back and ask, what's the call to action? We'll go back to there for the public.
Okay, yeah.
I'll go back to that because that's when I felt like I was getting stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's still breaking up a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
A lot of people must be on the internet right now.
Yes.
I know, that's the thing. I've been dealing with this at almost every meeting that I've been at.
Usually I'm okay, but okay, I'm going to go back to what's the call to action, Vizzy. You'll repeat yourself, but that's okay.
Yep, tell me when I'm ready to go.
Okay, yep. I'm just going to mute myself again.
Yep. So Vizzy, what is the call to action for these circles?
So we have uploaded templates on multiple websites. The town website, the town newsletter has it, and our Facebook page has it. We also have printouts of the templates at the corner spot where people can go pick it up. The request is people go creative, get wild with their creativity, use any form of art, and they can create art within the circles, cut them off, and they can either mail it in to town hall or they can drop it off at the corner spot. Then we will bring these circles together and create some lovely murals.
And where will we see the murals posted, or what's the hope for the posting?
The hope is as soon as circle artwork comes in, we are going to post it all over social media. But at this point, we have yet to get permits to create murals at town hall. We have to go to the select board, get the permission to create the artwork. One of the places we are hoping to do a mural is at the Ashland High School and the community center. And so we are also hoping to create themes over a period of time. So one of the themes we're going to be introducing pretty soon is a senior theme for the high school seniors or any senior who's graduated who is from Ashland. So, so a senior theme that might probably go up in the schools, and then we want to do a senior citizens theme. So that might go up at the senior center. We are hoping to do like frontline workers, healthcare workers. So, create multiple themes like that. So it keeps people interested and, wanting to create multiple pieces of art as well.
Nice. So it's interesting when I heard about this project. I know a number of people in Natick, and I had been following their Hearts of Love project and their zip code, and yeah. I love how through this whole pandemic the communities are sharing what they're doing. And I think about the Front Porch project and how that started, and we were able to do it here in Ashland in support of our Ashland Emergency Fund, and how it was the Heart Project was in Natick, and you saw the circle exhibit. And I love how that is just bringing the different communities together in ways because they're sharing what they're doing.
Right, right. And the other thing too is we don't want to leave the businesses out of this as well. So we
Right.
have extended it to our local small businesses. And our call to them is to create larger 2 feet circles and decorate it with inspirational messages, whatever it is that they want to do, and put it out in very creative spots. Like if it's a storefront, obviously they put it on their windows, but if it's a non-storefront business, they can still post it on their door or in their foyer or reception area, wherever, and they can participate as well. And so we want to, lift them up as well. So it's all about coming together and knowing that we are all there for each other and appreciating one another. So that's what this is all about.
Well, Vizzy, thank you for telling us about this project, and I expect we'll be talking to you once you have some circles and have started creating some murals, because I'd love to then share what has been created, because art is certainly something that brings people together, and during these times we need more art and we need more culture, and it's interesting how organizations are trying to make that happen.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. We are looking forward to seeing circles, and we're requesting everybody to start sending them in.
Okay, great. Thank you again, Vizzy. Thanks for watching this segment of Around the Clock. Make sure you download your circle so you can participate in Circle of Love, or go pick it up at the corner spot. And remember, nice hard cardstock so it can be added to the other circles that are created. Thanks for watching this segment of Around the Clock. Well, that wraps up this episode of Around the Clock. Thanks so much for watching. As you can see, we did this from my outdoor studio on Prospect Street, trying to enjoy this summer weather. A big thank you to Beth Reynolds, our Economic Development Director, for speaking to us about all the work that she's doing to support our businesses and citizens here in Ashland, and also to Kelly St. Cyr, the principal of the Ashland High School, and Brandon Grover, who is the president of the Ashland High School senior class, and all the work that they're doing as we transition and learn how to pivot during this time of the pandemic. And then a big thank you to Vizzy Talak, a writer and artist here in Ashland, who shared with us the 01721 Circle of Love project. I hope you consider participating. Thanks for watching this episode of Around the Clock. Stay safe and stay healthy.